my beautiful friends. Welcome to my channel. Besakih Temple is a Pura complex in the village of Besakih on the slopes of Mount Agung in eastern Bali, Indonesia. It is the most important, the largest and holiest temple of Hindu religion in Bali, and one of a series of Balinese temples. Besakih Temple is often referred to as Bali's Mother Temple. A grand complex of at least 86 clan temples and shrines on the southwestern slopes of Mount Agung. At least 70 celebrations take place at Besakih every year, as each shrine has its own anniversary. Besakih is considered to be the biggest and holiest of Bali's temples. Its high location offers spectacular countryside views with rice paddies, hills, mountains, and streams. Exploring the whole site can take a day. Pura Besakih is the only temple open to every devotee from any caste group. For the Balinese, visiting the temple sanctuaries of Besakih is a special pilgrimage. Mount Agung's position gives it an almost mystical quality. Several stairs lead up to the sacred mountainside, leading to temples that vary by type, status, and function. Pura Besakih has three main temples dedicated to the Hindu Trinity. Pura Besakih, in the center, has white banners for Shiva, the destroyer. Pura Besakih, to the right, features red banners for Brahma, the creator, and Pura Besakih represents Vishnu, the preserver, with its black banners. You can visit many other smaller temples in Pura Besakih, though many of their inner courtyards are only reserved for pilgrims. Pura Besakih contains a central stone indicating that the area of Pura Besakih was already regarded as a holy place since ancient times. In the 8th century, a Hindustani monk had revelations to build homes for people during his isolation. Throughout the process, many of his followers died due to illness and accidents. Upon completion, it was called Besakih, referring to the dragon deity Naga Besukian, believed to inhabit Mount Agung. The name eventually evolved into Besakih. Other shrines were gradually built and Pura Besakih was made the main temple during the conquering of Bali by the Majapahit Empire in 1343. Since then, Pura Besakih has had several restorations as earthquakes in 1917 and Mount Agung's series of eruptions in 1963 damaged the complex. The lava flow evaded Pura Besakih. Locals believe that deities wanted to demonstrate their power without completely destroying the holy complex. The largest temple in the complex, Pura Besakih, has different areas representing the 7 layers of the universe, each with their own shrines. Pura Besakih lies on the downstream side, on the east of the main street, while Pura Besakih can be found upstream. These shrines are about 3 kilometers apart. Closest to Mount Agung's peak, Pura Besakih offers great vistas and is about a 30-minute walk of the main Pura Besakih. East of Pura Besakih is Pura Besakih. It is where holy water is sourced for the Karya Agung ceremonies at Pura Besakih and the local villages. The 4 temples in the complex reflect the 4 deities governing their respective compass points. There's Pura Besakih in the north, Pura Besakih to the south, Pura Jelap in the east, and Pura Kalkal in the west. The shrine of Marutumpang Sebelas at Pura Besakih houses the central stone, called Batan Gadeg. This spot was where Vishnu is believed to have descended. Within the courtyard of Pura Besakih, in front of Marutumpang Sebelas, you'll find the Pesamuan shrine, quadrangular shaped with 2 lines of 16 poles, which depicts how Vishnu's power interrelates with the world. About 20 minutes walk northwest down a footpath to the valley and along a river is Pura Besakih. Erected on a tiny hill, it offers beautiful views which include all the shrines of Pura Besakih, the coast and southern Bali in the distance. On the west is Pura Kalkal, famous for the most precious kalkal, Balinese wooden slit gong, on the island. A kulkul is a signaling device to summon or convey special messages. On the northern side of Pura kulkul is Pura Marigant Selending, where the Breda inscription chronicles a king in Besakih. It is also where a set of ancient Selending gamelan are kept. Pura Gua, located on the eastern side of the main street, is the home of the dragon deity. There's a big cave at the canyon of the river on the east that has its mouth closed due to erosion, but people still sometimes practice yoga there. Pura Jangala, southwest of Pura Besakih, is also often referred to as Pura Hyang Halu by local devotees. The Mount Agung burial grounds is south of the temple. Here, you'll find sacred and ancient stone statues in the form of the mythical Garuda bird. Pura Besakih Jagat is located southeast of Pura Besakih, the main foundation of Pura Besakih. Pura Besakih, Pura Besakih, and Pura Dalampuri are the mother of all village temples, namely Pura Bus, Pura Desa, and Pura Dalam. Their shrines contain religious literature referring to how a temple must be built. During the day, Besakih becomes a crowded tourist trap, with self-professed temple guards, touts, hawkers, and more. Bear in mind that you should wear a proper top, a sarong, and a sash. The best visiting times of the day are in the early morning and the evening, as the complex is much quieter during these hours. The official guides are easily identifiable with their symmetrically patterned traditional batik shirts. The service is not free, though not expensive at all either, considering how big the complex is. There's no obligation to hire a guide for tours around the complex. Sarongs and sashes are available for rent. You can also purchase them at the many stalls outside, and bargaining is recommended. Women on their period aren't allowed to enter Besakih Temple. Taking along local companions outside the official hours is highly recommended. To get there from Sanur, take the Kuzumba bypass to Klungkung. Head north through Klungkung and take the right-hand turn at Mananga to get to Besakih. The journey from Sanur shouldn't take longer than 2.5 hours. Thanks.
Alandanu Temple Badugal Amazing Balinese Temple is located about 1,200 meters above sea level in Lake Buratan. Pretty much in the middle of Bali. This entire area is full of natural beauty. The main reason for Alandanu Buratan Temple's popularity is that it floats on the lake. If you visit when the water is low, it will obviously not be floating. On our visit, it was almost a complete temple float. We also had a day with a lot of fog and some rain. This is quite common here. At some moments we had very little visibility, but then when it passed a little it was quite mystical and special, with some of the fog and overall feeling in the air. The opening hours are from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. That said, people have accounts of being there earlier than that, and at sunrise too, so parts must still be accessible at that time. Lake Burtan's temple, called Pura Alandanu Burtan and also known as the Floating Temple, is one of the most mesmerizing temples in Bali. It is also one Bali's most underrated temple compared to Tanlot and Purulaharalawada temples. Built over 350 years ago, this temple houses waterside gardens and Meru shrines that are so well known in Bali. The gorgeous volcanic lake of Danau Burtan near Badugal is also the favorite of many local tourists, but not as well known with foreigners, therefore relatively still unknown. It is a true gem to discover. What makes it truly special is that since it caters for the local tourists, weekdays here would be the best time to enjoy the lake and the park at peace. This Hindu temple was built in the 17th century in honor of the lake goddess Dewi Danu, marking the significance of Lake Burtan as the main source of water in Bali. The history of the temple dates back to the Mengwai kingdom of that time. The 11 stories Meru shrine here is dedicated for Shiva and his consort Parvati. Alandanu itself literally translates to head of the lake. After several eruptions from Mount Batur, the temple has been shifted and rebuilt along with the village. Pura Alandanu is the core of all the water temples in Bali. It is one of the main structure in the irrigation systems that draws the water from Lake Batur into Sabak. This unique system is one of the many UNESCO World Cultural Heritage in Indonesia. It also serves as a symbol of social and religious unity in Bali. Pura Alandanu Bratan is located at Lake Bratan in Badugal Highlands of Bali. The lake is also worth a visit to take in the breathtaking views. Lake Bratan is the second largest lake in Bali, and is the source of irrigation for rice fields and plantations across the entire Badugal village. The mountain on which it sits is often referred to as the Holy Mountain as the weather is cool and the soil rich and fertile. In early times, Lake Bratan was the largest lake in Bali, until a devastating earthquake occurred, dividing the lake into three sections, Bratan, Buayan, and Tablingan. The name Bratan comes from the word brata, which means to conduct oneself to fill the 9 primary needs in life. The word is used in the term tapabrata, which is to meditate and be united with nature. The stunningly clear lake is calm and almost perfectly still, save for the soft breeze that occasionally sweeps across, creating tiny ripples upon its surface. A thin mist rises from the lake and hangs in the air, surrounding the temple, giving it a somewhat surreal appearance. Pura Alandanu was built in adoration of the goddess Danu. Danu, in the Balinese tongue, means lake, while the goddess Danu is queen of water, lakes and rivers. The temple complex consists of 4 sacred buildings. Lingapura stands 3 levels high, and is a place of worship to the god Shiva. Pura Pankakmanga stands 11 levels high, and was built in dedication to the god Vishnu. Pura Tirataibang is the main temple, and Pura Dalampurwa is built in worship to Sanghyang. This last temple is also a site for those who pray for fertility, prosperity and well-being. The style of the building follows the Trimurti belief, 3 holy colors to represent the 3 gods, Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu. The first color is red, to the Lord Brahma, the creator. Second, is black, the symbol of the Lord Vishnu, the balance and preserver of the universe. Finally, white for the god Shiva, that destroyer. The area surrounding the temple is believed to have been a site of worship and center for religious rituals since the megalithic period. To the left of the temple lies a sarcophagus as well as a stone slate that are dated to around 500 BC. The existence of the temple itself has been recorded as early as 1556. In 1633, it was rebuilt by the king of Mengwai, Agusti Agung Putu, with a mixture of Hindu and Buddhist architectural styles. Despite its age, the temple remains clean and in good condition, well kept by the local community. Alandanu Temple is one of the icons of the island of Bali, and is pictured on the 50,000 rupiah bill. Once you're inside the temple's grounds, take your time, walk around and take in the beauty. The main things to do at Alandanu Bratan Temple are exploring by foot and even by little swan paddle boats if you're in the mood for a paddle. Fishing is popular along the lake's edge too. Did not see anything getting caught, but all the fishermen and fisher kids seemed in their element. You can even rent fishing gear there if you're keen to drop a line in. If you want to visit the unique Balinese temple on your Bali holiday, then definitely consider visiting Alandanu Temple. To get to Alandanu Bratan Temple, Samyakat is 2.5-hour drive-in from Ubud, a little quicker than that, say 1.5 hours. A private driver would be a recommended way to get to Alandanu Temple, regardless of where you are staying in Bali. Organize the driver for the day and see more while you're at it. Is a major temple and landmark in the village of Mengwai, 17 kilometers northwest of Denpasar. The temple complex is well known for its magnificent traditional architectural features spread throughout its courtyards and enclosures. The temple also has expansive gardens with beautiful lotus-filled fish ponds. The name Tamanyan translates to beautiful garden. This palatial complex is a great place to marvel not only at early Balinese architecture but also to imagine how Balinese royals lived their life behind palace walls back in the day. There are vast pools, for instance, where palace maids would sail about in small canoes. Although the royal pools are far from what can be imagined during its days of glory, the moss-lined walls and jade algae-filled water add to the rustic charm of the whole scenery of this centuries-old temple site. The temple was built in 1634 by then ruler of the Mengwai Kingdom, Besakih Temple. It was built with Chinese architectural inspirations and underwent a significant restoration project in 1937. Towering tiers from the temple's shrines make up most of the profile of Tamanyan and are a gesture of the people of Mengwai's reverence to their deified nobles. The temple is considered the mother temple of Mengwai. The Tamanyan temple was to serve as a main site of worship among the Mengwai people, to save them having to travel long distances to the larger temples like Besakih in East Bali, Batakaru in Tabnan, or Bachar in Kintamani. It also served as a unifying symbol among the Mengwai royalty and the people. The Tamanyan temple complex comprises 4 different divisions, each ranking higher than the next. The first is referred to as the Jaba or outer division, accessible only through a single entrance and walkway over the ponds. There's a small guardian shrine inside and a large wattle and hall to the right where communal gatherings are held. A tall fountain here has spouts jutting up and out to the cardinal directions. In the next court is a small temple compound by the name of Pura Besakih. The second and third terraces are slightly higher than the first. To enter, you must go through a second gate where a shelter called Bal Pengibngan greets you with ornamental features depicting Duatana or the 9 Hindu gods that guard the points of the compass. East of this court is a small temple called Pura Besakih, while in its western corner is an 8-meter-high wooden bell tower called the Bal Kulkul. A climb up will reveal 2 hanging rectangular wooden bells, plus a high and spectacular view of the whole complex. The fourth and last court, referred to as the Utama Madala, is considered the most sacred. The intricately ornate central gate is open only during ceremonies, as the entryway for consecrated heirlooms and other ceremonial paraphernalia. Another gate at its east is for daily access. Several tiers of different outlines and sizes rise up forming the temple's skyline. Tamanyan Temple shares the same anniversary day with the cliff-perched Uluwatu Temple on the island's southern peninsula. This is celebrated every Kliwon Medang Tuesday on the 210-day Balinese Pagan calendar, when devotees come to pray, day and night. North of the bell tower is a pavilion called Belojai. In old times, this was where priests and ceremonial attendants would make preparations or take a break. Nowadays, you can usually see artists here busy creating their latest works of art, which are mostly available for purchase. Museum Manusa Yadnya is just across the road from the temple. The museum is a great place to learn about Balinese rituals and rites of passage. Thanks for watching this video.
In love with you.
Don't forget to subscribe my channel.